Welcome to the show. Tonight's show's gonna make you feel like emo Peter dancing in downtown Corpus Christi while dancing on the walls and in the ceiling and up in the sky. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Enough of that. Let's get down to some serious business. Up front tonight, kids and guns. This comes after this comes after two stories. This one was from a 12-year-old. This story. This comes after a 12 and a 14-year-old were used AK-47s and other guns shooting rampage at Tulsa deputies. I looked at this story today, and that got me sick to my stomach. What the hell are we doing raising our kids with freaking guns? Are you kidding me? I mean, I did a safety break on guns, and now I have to do one again thanks to those 12 and 14-year-olds who use AK-47s and other guns.
This morning, a dangerous situation involving kids in a Volusia County neighborhood. Deputies say they had no choice but to return fire after a 12 and 14-year-old started shooting at them. And one of those kids was armed with an AK-47. This happened last night at a home along Enterprise Osteen Road, east of I-4. Mark Lehman is there live for us this morning. And Mark, deputies say they tried for hours to de-escalate this.
Yeah, the sheriff says deputies made several efforts to try and calm things down at this home here last night. But on every occasion, the sheriff says deputies were met by gunfire from the children who broke into this home. The sheriff expressing disbelief over what happened and outrage over what he calls a failed juvenile justice system.
This is something I've never seen in 35 years of policing.
The Volusia County Sheriff's Office surrounding a home in Enterprise on Tuesday where they say two children, just 12 and 14 years old, opened fire on deputies.
And here's an indication of a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old have it so bad in life that they're going to defy law enforcement and engage them in a gun battle.
Sheriff Mike Chitwood says the children ran away from a group home, a place they responded to nearly 300 times last year.
What the hell is the Department of Juvenile Justice doing, sending these kids to places that can't handle them?
According to investigators, the 12-year-old boy and 14-year-old girl broke into a nearby home where they found a shotgun and AK-47. Chitwood says the deputies were met with gunfire as they tried to de-escalate the situation.
But they took rounds, multiple rounds, before they were left with no other choice but to return fire.
The girl was shot by deputies and rushed to the hospital. The boy was then taken into custody after surrendering.
Thankfully, I have deputies who are going home to their families because they knew what to do. They were well trained.
No deputies were injured in the gunfire, and we're told the 14-year-old girl is stable after undergoing surgery for life-threatening injuries. Both children are now facing felony charges. As for the group home they ran away from, today we are looking into its history, and we'll keep you updated with what we learn. For now, reporting live in Volusia County, Mark Lehman, Getting Results, News 6.
Mark, thank you.
Great there. Now there was another one here in Houston. This 9-year-old girl was accidentally killed in an Arizona shooting. It was a 9-year-old. This was a 9-year-old. I mean, a 9-year-old who shot a 7-year-old. A flippin' 9-year-old. I mean, a 9-year-old getting close to 10. That's just unacceptable. Can't be doing that. Sitting up here, watching a 9-year-old shooting up a 7-year-old. Now, mind you, this happened at home. Where were the parents? Where were the parents in all this?
But first tonight, we are following two breaking stories, both involving children.
Yes, first to Southwest Harris County, where police say a 9-year-old boy shot a 7-year-old boy. The investigation is still ongoing at this hour at a home on Anderson Road.
This wasn't
That's not
Houston.
too far from the intersection of 288 and the Beltway.
Our Roseanne Aragon is live on the scene tonight. Roseanne, do we know the boy's condition tonight?
After all that boy has been through, we know he is in stable condition tonight and is expected to make a full recovery. But can you imagine the fear? It happened here in this complex right behind me at a mobile home.
A mobile home? So where were the
Here in the
parents?
600 block of East Anderson, a harrowing call.
A 9-year-old who shot a 7-year-old through the face. The shot went through and through the cheek.
Houston police say it happened with several adults in the home, and
There were several unsecured weapons inside the residence. There was a pistol found laying in the bed when the child found it.
and then tried to show the 7-year-old boy, a boy whom police say could be the 9-year-old's brother or family member. The investigation still ongoing.
We did have one individual who was in the house who fled, who was there during the shooting and then fled after the shooting.
Investigators now say the 7-year-old is lucky. A maintenance worker heard the gunshots and rushed to help.
The child was transported to the hospital in stable condition and will be okay.
Now, Houston police are still looking for the adult who fled from the scene. They don't know the
It was an
relationship
adult.
he had to the boys or why he fled, but say he did live there. Meanwhile, the boy is expected to make a full recovery. Reporting live from Southwest Houston, Roseanne Aragon, KPRC 2 News.
More break.
And there's still more to, and there's still more. There were two stories about this, and when we come back, we're going to look at an Arizona gun instructor that was dead after a 9-year-old accidentally shoots him. Then, a 7-year-old girl was killed while the father shot while sitting in McDonald's drive-thru on the west side. We'll look at those two stories, plus more COVID cases, after the break. Up front tonight, we're still talking about children and guns. I did a safety break about this with your child, teaching them how to shoot because of all these mass shootings. But there's still latest happenings, including in Arizona. This instructor was shot by a 9-year-old. It was an accident shooting, but what really happened? Take a look at the story.
Tragedy in the United States is sparking fresh debate about children's access to guns. Questions are being asked after a 9-year-old girl accidentally shot and killed her instructor during training. It happened at the Last Stop shooting range in the Arizona desert southeast of Las Vegas. Lindsay Duncombe has the details.
Okay, turn this leg forward. There you go, just like that.
She is little. The submachine gun she is learning to shoot, powerful.
Shot. All right. All right, full out of...
And when she switches from one-shot mode to fully automatic, the recoil sends the gun over her head. At least one bullet hit her instructor. The 39-year-old veteran who had survived Iraq and Afghanistan was...
Mind you, this was from Arizona. This 9-year-old was accidentally killed a shooting instructor while he was showing how to use an automatic weapon. Okay, well, a 9-year-old. Okay, you want to learn to use a weapon? I mean, it has to be an age limit. They gotta learn some responsibility. But if they accidentally shoot that person, well, that's. I mean, if it was an accident, then it was an accident. There's probably no need to rule on that.
Tragedy in the United States is sparking fresh debate about children's access to guns. Question.
Instructor, the 39-year-old veteran who
Sounds
had
like
survived Iraq and Afghanistan, was airlifted to hospital and died.
It's like losing a brother. These aren't employees or associates of ours. These are family. We're all family.
The sheriff's early conclusion, a horrible accident. No Arizona rules broken, no charges expected. The child's parents were present and supervising. The Bullets and Burgers range allows children as young as 8 to shoot automatic weapons with their parents'
Young as
permission,
8?
all perfectly legal. In an interview with CBC Radio, the range's operator said he is reviewing rules and called the incident an industrial accident.
Do you feel that a 9-year-old girl with no experience can shoot an Uzi effectively and be trained properly to do that?
I mean, look at your news reports. There's people younger than 9-year-old handling AK-47s in the Middle East right now.
I don't think anybody's condoning that, though, sir.
I mean, can a child be trained? Certainly.
Obviously, not everyone agrees with that, even in the U.S. Uzis are powerful weapons.
Exactly.
Even though it's only a 9mm, there's still a lot of recoil, and it happens again and again and again. So the first time you're not ready for it, it's going to start rocking you back.
And it's not the first time this has happened. This 8-year-old boy shot himself in the head and died after shooting an Uzi into a pumpkin at a gun show. The Sheriff's Department released the video of the latest incident. The version handed to reporters stops before the instructor is shot, before the 9-year-old, on vacation with her family, starts screaming.
All right, pull out of.
Lindsay Duncombe, CBC News, Washington.
I feel sorry about this gun instructor, and it was an accident shooting. But there is another one. But there is number 2. That's number 2. This third, this was at a McDonald's. 7-year-old girl killed, and the father was shot at a McDonald's. It's all about the gun violence here. I mean, look.
Again, with breaking news right now at 9, a 7-year-old girl is dead tonight after being shot 6 times at a McDonald's drive-thru in Lawndale.
She was in the car with her father, who was also shot. WGN's Megan Dwyer is live at Stroger Hospital with the latest. Megan.
Taman and Jackie, this happened just before 5 o'clock this evening. I am told that this father doesn't get to see his daughter that often. Today, they had a chance to spend some time together, and he took her to McDonald's because that's where she loved eating. Now, police sources tell me tonight this was a targeted gang shooting, and the shooter probably did not see the girl in the car because of tinted windows.
Please put the guns down, please.
The family of 7-year-old Jaslyn Adams, nicknamed Pinky, says she was free-spirited, fun, loved to dance, and make videos on TikTok.
It's hard right now.
Today, the Cameron school student was shot 6 times while sitting in a car in a McDonald's drive-thru with her dad in the 3200 block of West Roosevelt. Someone opened fire, riddling the car with bullets.
It hits home with all of us.
Police tried to save her in the back of a squad car doing CPR on the way to the hospital, but the talkative 7-year-old did not survive.
You got cowards out here killing and shooting babies in Chicago.
Her dad, 28-year-old Jonte Adams, was shot once. He's in stable condition at Stroger Hospital tonight. His mom says he called her right after the incident and said, "They shot my baby girl." Now her family, especially her young siblings and cousins,
My baby taking it so hard right now.
are trying to understand why.
My 8-year-old baby says she don't even want to go out and play because she's scared she gonna get shot.
If you had any kids, have you ever took your kids to McDonald's? Have you ever took your kids to eat? You pumped 6.5 bullets in that baby. That don't make you a man. It don't make you a gangster.
Exactly.
Something wrong with you.
Tonight, activists are also vowing to find whoever did this,
Turn them in.
saying they broke the code of the streets.
This gotta stop.
Exactly.
We are told there is a video from this incident today, and police have it. I'm live tonight at Stroger Hospital. Megan Dwyer, WGN News.
Okay, well, we don't know what the video is going to be, but if that releases, I will update you when the story hits. it'll hit like a punch in the crotch. But all jokes aside, I feel sorry for this little girl. Mind you, this was about a month ago.
Bond is denied for a man charged with murdering 7-year-old Jaslyn Adams. Tonight, we're learning.
But there's more to the story. When we come back, this person was denied bond. He is the shooter. Wait till you see his bond denied after this. Earlier in this broadcast, we told you the story of 7-year-old Jaslyn Adams who was shot at a McDonald's restaurant to where I work at. We now know who the shooter is. This man was charged for murder first degree, vehicle hijacking, discharge of firearm, 3 felony counts, murder first degree, aggravated assault, unlawful boss, discharge of firearm, and all these charges, so on and so forth.
Denied.
So
Bond is denied for a man charged with murdering 7-year-old Jaslyn Adams. Tonight, we're learning new information about what police say was his role in the killing and who else may be involved. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Bang.
And I'm Taman Bradley. Kelly Davis is live with our top story tonight at 5. Kelly.
Good evening, Taman and Jackie. Marion Lewis appeared in court virtually this morning for his bond hearing. As you mentioned, it was denied, and the state's attorney released some new details about exactly what unfolded 1 week ago today. The judge called it, quote, disturbing, to say the least.
No kids left in the shed.
A small group gathers outside McDonald's 1 week after 7-year-old Jaslyn Adams was murdered.
It hurts me to see our children dying because I have a daughter myself. No justice, no peace.
The young girl's death has rocked the city's west side as kids cry out for change.
Put the guns out. I want to live.
Police arrested one suspect in connection to the murder. 18-year-old Marion Lewis faces more than a dozen felony charges, including first-degree murder and attempted murder.
What happened? Something happened. From the time you were born to 18, you're still a baby. Something happened.
Lewis was arrested Thursday after police say he led them on a chase down 290, then crashed into a median and tried to carjack another family's vehicle.
Both those weapons that were on his person that were recovered, they did test positive to the murder weapons used at the scene to kill Jaslyn.
During today's bond hearing, the state's attorney said Lewis was driving the car involved in the shooting. They say the 18-year-old was behind the wheel when 2 other suspects got out and fired several rounds into Jaslyn Adams' family car. Police have identified the 2 other men, but they are not yet in custody.
You can run, but you can't hide. We are going to bring you to justice for this crime.
Exactly.
The Adams family deserves nothing less.
Jaslyn's family has asked the others involved in the young girl's death to turn themselves in, but police are confident they'll track them down.
That baby was innocent. These babies are being robbed of their innocence. 7 years old. No chance. No chance. Yes.
Lewis's next court appearance is scheduled for this Thursday. Live at 26th in California, I'm Kelly Davis, WGN News.
I feel sorry for this, and I'm glad that his bond was denied, but he said there was another person involved in that shooting. But we don't know. But we don't know who that person was. And now we do. There is another person with a .40 caliber handgun. So take a look.
WGN Evening News at 4.
A judge denies bond for one of the men charged in the murder of a 7-year-old girl at a McDonald's drive-thru earlier this month. We begin there this afternoon. I'm Lourdes Duarte.
And I'm Ben Bradley. Thanks for joining us. 21-year-old Taman Gowdy faces first-degree murder charges. but he won't be released from jail anytime soon.
WGN's Megan Dwyer is joining us now with what happened in court today.
Yeah, Lourdes and Ben, prosecutors say Gowdy opened fire at a McDonald's parking lot on a Sunday afternoon, not once but twice. And he got caught in part because his friends posted a video of themselves on social media. Today in court, prosecutors revealed 7-year-old Jaslyn Adams was shot 3 times. She was in a tan Infiniti with tinted windows, sitting with her dad in a McDonald's drive-thru in Homan Square, April 18th. Adams died at Stroger Hospital. Her 29-year-old dad, Jonte Adams, survived. Today, a judge said there would be no bond for one of the alleged shooters, 21-year-old Damon Gowdy. Prosecutors say Gowdy sat in the front passenger seat before jumping out of his car to use a .40 caliber handgun to fire at the car with the child inside. Police found more than 40 shell casings at the scene. In denying bond today, the judge said Gowdy must stay locked up in order to ensure the safety of the public. He's already on bond for 4 separate offenses, including robbery and gun possession. The judge said if he shot up a McDonald's while he was on bond for other cases, he has already shown he can't comply with court rules. Court records show a judge put Gowdy on 24-hour home GPS monitoring for a strong-arm robbery back in September, but a judge loosened those conditions in October so he could attend his brother's funeral. Today's bond court hearing had been postponed once. Gowdy's attorney tried to get it pushed back again today. She says she can't effectively represent him on Zoom, and she wanted to be in the same room with him, but the judge denied her requests. Police are still looking for the other shooter in this case, a man they say sat in the back seat and used a Draco AK-47 style gun with a banana clip and 7.62 caliber bullets. Prosecutors say they not only have surveillance video of the actual shooting, but of the 3 men at a BP gas station about 2 miles from the scene. Prosecutors say 2 hours before the shooting, the driver of the car uploaded a video of himself and the others inside of that car with guns to social media. Police know them and say they are all in the same gang. Prosecutors also say the car's driver, 18-year-old Marion Lewis, had threatened the child's father before. Police arrested Lewis after a car chase on the Eisenhower Expressway. Today, prosecutors said guns found in his car that day match guns used at the scene. This case will be back in court on May 19th. Gowdy is to have no contact with any witnesses or victims in this case in any, quote, way, shape, or form. Lourdes, Ben?
Thanks, Megan.
Okay. Well,
so, May 19th. So we were to look up this story. Look up this story about Jaslyn Adams. We wouldn't know more about this story about May 19th. This was in Chicago. And now we know. We now know there were 2 men. But was there a 3rd person involved in this shooting? But we don't know. There's only 2. And they clearly know what was going on here. So my thoughts and prayers go out to this young girl. Very sorry for your loss. I'm back in a moment. Because of what I've been talking about with children and guns, I had planned to give you guys a story about this guy who was catching predators from Corpus Christi. All that for you on Friday. Along with this story. Imagine being graduate with a college degree already at hand. That's what 4 people are doing. Had in mind. All that story for you tomorrow. Along with a school pantry. And I'm going to start a new campaign. End the silence on youth violence. It's all about children. We have to make sure that this doesn't happen again. That's all for this Give Me a Break Wednesday. I'll see you again at Give Me a Break Friday. Have a good night, everyone. Take care of yourself and each other.